Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm going to show you how I made a custom GPT of myself and deployed it to our sales team, ultimately saving over $50,000 annually due to the efficiencies that they got from it. Stick around. So for those of you who haven't tried yet, ChatGPT really is a powerful tool. Now, I know a lot of organizations have very strict rules on your usage or lack of usage with these tools. But everything I'm going to show you is something anyone can do anywhere, whether you work for the company or not, using public information. And there's no way to stop someone from doing this. I could create this against competitors. I could do this for anybody. So ultimately what I needed to do was, I'm in product marketing, so I'm responsible for a lot of things. Product messaging, value messaging, benefit messaging, go-to-market strategies, industry research, and ultimately sales enablement. So that means creating sales materials, conveying the values of our product and services and how that applies to different industries and solution types and different personas. And then, of course, ultimately, competitive intelligence, email writing, website copy. There's a whole slew of things that I'm responsible for that come down to research and writing. And I didn't want to become that bottleneck when sellers had questions of, hey, how should I best position ourselves against this competitor? Or how should we position ourselves for the financial services industry for a chief technology officer? I wanted to take myself out of that process so that they were free to do this on their own and stop having me be a bottleneck. So I created what was called my advisor. What I did was, through a Plus account, a $20 a month ChatGPT account, I created what's considered a custom GPT. If you haven't done one of these yet, it's super easy, and I can't recommend doing one enough. I've created a couple before, photography business advisor, a gift genie. They're great to just experiment with, but ultimately what you need is a name of the GPT, a description of what it is, and then instructions of what it should do. Now, these instructions, I would almost equate them to you creating the historical background of what an actor or actress might want to follow. What are they knowledgeable in? What's their demeanor like? How should they be answering questions? Should they be knowledgeable, conversational, formal, quick and clear to the point? Ultimately, you are crafting the persona and personality of this person. So I put in a lot of things of myself. Who am I? Product marketing director. What should I be knowledgeable in? These industries and these personas. How should I be responding to folks? I should be clear. I should be concise. I should be conversational. And then after creating all these, you can do some conversation starters. This is what kind of questions you might want to add in as a template. So you might put in a conversation starter of, how can my company help financial services? How can my company help chief technology officers in highly regulated industries? Those are great conversation starters to start the conversations with. And then ultimately, it comes down to uploading files. So ChatGPT has access to the internet, has a lot of great information of everything, but you want it to focus on you and provide value to you in your unique scenarios. So here's what I would do. I would go to, let's say we go to HubSpot. Let's say HubSpot is where I work. It is not. But I would go through my website and go to every one of my product pages, solution pages, and I would take all this content, copy this, and put this into some documentation. Now, I would want to take out the headers and the footers and all that crazy meta information, but the data on that will make sure that I'm using my latest messaging. Additionally, I would then take our competitors' latest messaging in the exact same way and put that in its own document. So I'd prepare that so we have an entire large document. You can do up to 20 documents uploaded in here, and I think it's a limit of 3,000 pages. Don't quote me on it exactly, but you can add in a lot of information into these GPTs. What else would I add? I would add all of our public-facing customer stories, anything specific to how we serve markets, how we've solved problems, any public-facing statistics, any integrations we support or partnerships that we have. All of that would be put into these special knowledge Word documents and added in as knowledge into my GPT. Ultimately, that was it. From my testing, it would answer questions amazingly. When I would ask it for comparisons against us versus competitors, not only would it give great responses, but it would give the reasons of why someone would choose our competitor or the reason why they should choose us based on their use case, their security requirements, things of that nature. So it did a great job answering questions and writing emails for people that were pretty good. So once I created this and tested it around and was happy with it, I'm just going to give it a name, for example. I needed to share this within the organization. This is where procurement and approval has to come in from your organization. Sorry, I didn't mean to tap the microphone. Once you start sharing these tools, they do have to be vetted and approved by the org. You do not want to just start doing this under the table and not letting people know, because you're going to get yourself in trouble. Granted, everything I've done has no proprietary information, no private information. There's nothing confidential in here yet. Everything's public facing. But having this GPT focused on your use case and your markets and your personas is so valuable. So I reached out to our procurement team and we went through a bit of a vetted process where I had to build a program on how to train our employees and how to grant them access to what kind of budget we needed. Now, the good news is, with the GPT free accounts, there's enough usage in those where they can access my Custom GPT and use it for free. So the goal was to give them access. I would go from, instead of only me, to anyone with the link. Now we have to keep this quiet and keep this shared with us, of course. We don't want to be sharing this out publicly, but I did not want it posted in the GPT store. So I created a publicly available private link for this account. And then I worked with the procurement team to say, what we're going to do is have our internal employees sign up for free GPT accounts, and they will have a certain amount of daily usage of this GPT that they can use. And if they run out, they run out. They can come back tomorrow. But before I could really just give this link out to people, they have to be trained. So we had to put together a training program here. So I held an enablement session. We hold these all the time. If you're in product marketing, you're holding enablement sessions all the time to welcome folks to the advisor. Now, this isn't the exact design. I had to strip a few things out, but I'm going to show you what this specifically covered. First and foremost, what was the program? We are going to be using a new tool, OpenAI's ChatGPT 4. What did we build? We built a product advisor populated with publicly available information only. What should it do? This GPT should be able to answer basic questions about our capabilities, our products, the markets we serve, and how we compete against others in this area. How do you access the app? Giving people the direct link to the app via a clickable link here. Registration, giving them instructions of how to use this. Please sign up for a free individual ChatGPT account. And feedback and support, use a specific Slack channel or however you're using internal communications, something that's very conversational where everyone can contribute and see how other people are using the tool and getting answers. Be there in 2. I'm going to have to take a quick pause because my wife is dropping off lunch. Be right back. I'm back. Holy moly. So ultimately, we needed to make it clear how they get access to the app and how do they get help when they need it. Then, how should we use this? What are the best ways we can actually get value out of this application? So again, training. This is meant to be a product advisor. Ask it questions that your prospects and customers will ask you, and it should give you great responses. The GPT has been grounded in our latest messaging and information and publicly available competitive intel. And what kind of use cases does it cover? You can literally ask it anything from competitive differentiation down to creating email campaigns and outreach strategies. Then finally, safety and disclaimer. This was key to making sure people use this correctly so they don't get in trouble. No private info can be entered in here. Do not any private company info, no proprietary info, and no personally identifiable information can be added in here. We want to make sure that confidential information doesn't get in here. There isn't a reason to add it in at this point just yet, but we needed to make sure people were clear on what types of information can and cannot be added in here. And then finally, hallucinations are still a risk and a threat. It can lie to you, so you need to verify the information it's generating is accurate. That can come down to just making sure that it is saying and portraying capabilities and features accurately. And furthermore, making sure that it's not making up statistics. If you're asking it for how much money did we save X customer, you want to make sure that it accurately found that in the knowledge that it was trained in. There's a chance it might not be. It might generate incorrect statements, and it's up to the person using it to make sure that it is being used accurately. Then finally, I put together about 8 or 9 different use cases and recommendations on how you can use the GPT to do a number of things, like writing email cadences out to folks that you're trying to prospect, finding them on LinkedIn, how to do competitive differentiation based on specific customer needs or use cases that the customer may have. And even more, I ended up having a seller come to me with a fantastic idea that she tried out. She took a prospect's annual report, uploaded that into the GPT, identified the top 3 to 5 things that the company is looking forward to focusing on in the next year, and then used our GPT to identify how our company can help them meet those goals on those key initiatives that they're focusing on in the next year. It's been a phenomenal experience to see how these team members have been using the tool. And furthermore, you need to measure to see how effective it is. And this is kind of the last step. It's a little hard because this is using a Plus account with free accounts, so I don't really get to see usage from these employees or the quality of the outputs other than what they're willing to share. So what I did was I put together a survey that was shared out to the sales team and other front house members who were using these tools. I asked them a couple of questions. One, didn't ask for emails because I wanted honest responses in here. I didn't want them to feel like they had to be nice. I wanted honesty in this. First, which department do they report into? Next, how often are they using the advisor? Daily, a couple times a week, monthly, never? Those are honest options people could be seeing. How much money?
Someone is at the front door.
Who's at the front door? I don't understand. I swear I'm never going to get this video done. Where was I? Next question. How many hours per week is this saving you? 6 plus? Made that just 6? People could have put 10, rounded that to 6. 3 to 5 hours, I rounded to 4. 1 to 2 hours, I rounded to 90 minutes. Under an hour, under 1 hour, I rounded to 30 minutes, or no real impact. Or what I wanted to know is, did it make the tasks longer? Some people end up spending more time learning how to use these tools. Then I had a couple last questions in here just to see how they're using it. Please choose from a number of these options. You can select all that apply. How are you using the advisor to help you in your role? Then the following statement. Do the answers, do you agree with the following statement? The answers and content that the advisor creates is accurate and beneficial for your needs. Strongly agree to strongly disagree. And then finally, was there anything you wished the advisor would do better? So what I will say is I held a webinar detailing the actual results from this, which I will put in the link. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description here if you want to check that out. But ultimately, we got a lot of great reviews, a lot of great responses. It is tremendously helping folks. We saved about $55,000 to $56,000 just in the hours saved from those who had submitted and had tested with the advisor, and it continues to grow. So this is the steps that I had to do to release a custom GPT of myself to benefit our sales team, so I'd stop being a bottleneck. They're loving it. It's saving us money, and all of this is really running off of one $20 a month GPT or OpenAI Plus account, ChatGPT Plus. So definitely very affordable, almost silly not to do it. And I am constantly being asked by our sales team, can we get the upgrade? We're running out of credit. So we're working our way through that to get this deployed out. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did and this helps you, I'd love to hear about it. If it didn't, I'd love to hear that too. What parts of these do you think weren't helpful? What do you think I should be diving into more? I'd appreciate the comment. I'd appreciate a like. I'd appreciate a subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.